Morning, Fractal Effects team. Before we get started, please make sure you read the disclosure. If you're following along with us today, make sure you do in a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. Jump onto the charts in a minute. So since today is CPI, we'll just be focusing on oil. Got a lot of things marked up here from the morning session. We've manipulated to the upside. We're about 5 minutes away from range formation. We have an upside expansion, buy model, but we're right near the daily or the 4-hour highs. There's a 4-hour, sorry, a 1-hour fair value gap right here. And then we're using Brent crude oil as our diverging pair. So far, this is just one clean leg up, one manipulation move up. We've not had a double break to the upside. On a day like this, you want to wait for all your confluence. You want to make sure you get that confirmation. So there's this green line right here. That's actually a 4-hour wick. So that's the top of the 4-hour candle. And that's the consequence encroachment, the midpoint of that wick, where there's a 1-hour fair value gap. So we could technically hit this and push down, but again, what we want to do is we want to not only wait for our spotlight confirmation, but we also want to see that double break to the upside to let us know that this thing really wants to push up. And then those would be the targets. So far, no divergence. Neither pair has given us a double break. This is still one manipulation move. Even NAS right now is technically a runaway market. After open, it just spiked up. The NYC fair value gap has become a breakaway gap. Still one clean leg. No double break as of yet. When it comes to runaway markets, you know how I feel. Those are hard to get an entry on. There's a couple of ways of doing it, but I would rather just pass and play it safe. I'd rather wait for that confirmation retracement where we can actually get our entry and we can stock it. Where we don't chase, we stock the market, two different things. But it has to come into your important areas and important zones that where you're looking at. Shall we get a little bit of consolidation here now as the range is completing? So our range is fully formed. This could be our confirmation candle. Let's see if it sticks. Still just one leg, no double break. There's that 1 hour fair value gap. Three minutes left. Let's see if this confirmation sticks. Obviously, there's a lot of news just in the last 24 hours, obviously with the US pausing tariffs on China for the next 90 days and CPI today, so we just got to proceed with caution. So we rejected off that 1 hour, still a whole bunch of nothing, no confirmation. We're just going to play this one safe. We do have our double break. So we took out the low of this candle. Took out the low of this candle. And the high here. So we do have our double break, but even with the double break, you would now want to see a retracement. See a retracement. We could get our, in order to get a confirmation, we'd have to get above this here first. Let's see which comes first, the retracement or the confirmation. But we do have our double break. I am more confident now that this actually wants to get up here. I just need to see if it gives us a decent entry. So we're looking for one of those two things, either a confirmation first, then a retracement, or a retracement first. Back to one of our key zones. And then a bullish signal would be a 5M fair value gap after it's retraced. So once the retracement is done, then a 5M bullish fair value gap and a push up. And on the 1 hour, just want to make sure that we're getting that expansion. Always want to make sure that the 10 a.m. candle is expanding away from the 9. So we hit that 1 hour fair value gap, wicked it. We want to make sure we come back here and take a look right when it hits 11 o'clock to see if that wick sticks and if we're getting rejection off of that, or if there's room to grow into those highs. Again, looking at US oil today, using Brent crude oil as a divergence. Let's just jump back down to the 5M. So after a double break, there's always a retracement. After a confirmation, there's always a retracement. So regardless, we should be getting a retracement here soon. For people who don't know what a full retracement looks like, you want to see one of two things. One, you want to see, in this particular scenario, if there's going to be a retracement, you want to see a 5M bearish fair value gap placed. That's what really lets you know it's a retracement. Sometimes people will just see one candle pull back and they think that's a retracement. That's not a retracement. I want to see a 5M bearish fair value gap be created, which I can then use as an inverse when I'm going up. And secondly, if you don't get that bearish fair value gap, but you do get a series of candles without any fair value gap, and then you see an immediate rebalancing, a 2-candle rebalance, where we reject and then the next candle engulfs the previous candle, you can use that to let you know that the retracement might be done. But then the next step is you want to see a bullish 5M fair value gap be created. That's how you know there's a retracement happening, and that's how you know when a retracement is done. So let's just wait this one out. We have a big 5M fair value gap here. But our actual NYC fair value gap is down here. So I want to see the market come back at least into this zone and give us that setup to take a buy. It doesn't have to come this deep, mind you, because we did get a big push up. But this will seal the deal for me. If we come back into here and then we see that setup. This is why we don't get FOMO though. We have a set of rules the market does not abide by those rules, we don't take a trade. Coming back down to the 20. But this is the area of interest right now for me. I'm not going to take just any fair value gap. It has to come back to one of our key zones. One of our key zones, remember, there's three main ones. We have our NYC fair value gap. That's right there, the green one. I just get rid of all the stuff that I've painted on top of it. There you go, that's one. There's our blue zone down here, that's two. Or our DSD, which is right here, this white one. That's the DSD high. So there's a lot of areas of confluence right here. So I have this fair value gap marked as well. So that is the first fair value gap presented after the 10 a.m. candle opened. That also becomes an area of interest. So right here, this is the sweet spot. That's where I want to see the retracement and then a setup to go long right into those highs, or maybe even just this high, depending on if we get our 1 to 3. And then for anybody wondering where your stop loss would be placed, as soon as this retracement is done, and we can definitively see that it's done, we get that immediate rebalancing, we get that 5M bearish fair value gap, we get a 5M bullish fair value gap. That low of that retracement becomes our stop loss. A couple of ticks below it. That's our definitive stop loss. About 15 minutes away from 11 o'clock. And we'll check, see what that wick looks like on the hourly. But right now, our bias is bullish, and we're waiting to see if we get that set up. That's all we're at right now. You're not missing out on anything. People who get FOMO, they don't really understand how the market works. That's like walking into a basketball game in the second quarter and thinking like I missed everything. If anybody knows how basketball works, it's not like hockey. Hockey, there you'll only get like maybe 1 to 3 points in a game, so you might miss out. On a basketball, on a basketball game, you can walk in the last quarter and still see, still get more than enough. You can see who's going to win, and you're going to see a lot of back and forth. But that's what it is. It's for newbies, neophytes, beginners. When they look at the market, they think that this is the last quarter. But if you know how the game works, you know this is only the second quarter. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. You can step away if you need to. You can set certain alerts. There's no FOMO happening here. If we had already gotten a bullish confirmation, then I would be interested in this fair value gap. But a lot of things need to happen first in order for me to care about this area right now. First things first, as mentioned before, I want to see a bearish 5M fair value gap at least left here. So if this closes up and the market starts moving up, we might get a confirmation and then another retracement. We are high probability traders. We work with statistics and numbers. Now, our last 20 years of aggregate data shows us that after we get confirmation, we always, not always, there's a high probability, 80% chance that we will retrace. That's what we look for, that retracement. We're getting a retracement, early retracement now, without a confirmation. Same thing with the blue strategy, blue zone strategy. As soon as we get a double break, we get a retracement back to one of our key zones. That's where we look for entry. If the market runs away from us, we're not going to chase after it. We were never going to get in. Day trading is not everyday trading. It's when you see the opportunity. Otherwise, you're better off just going to a casino, gambling. It's not what we teach here. About 2 minutes left. I want to see this fair value gap stay open. And I do want to see it push down further. Excuse me. Just want to make sure we did get that double break here too. 627. So we don't really have a double break here on Brent crude oil. That's interesting. That means we could get a deeper retracement. Most likely back to the DSD. So this candle and this candle have the same high. That's not a break. Break has to be, even if it's a micro pip. Break is a break. So here's the high. You can see it up here. It's 627. 627. So these two are, so this didn't break this, which means this is still the candle of interest. So the spiking candle here took out the high, but we did not take out the low. So that's our first bit of divergence right now. That means this is all still one clean leg. "21 seconds left." That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a 5M bearish fair value gap left open. Now this becomes an area of interest that we can use later as an inverse fair value gap when we're going back up, if we go back up, where all the confluence has to be there. Next step, we want to hit this key zone. And we want to see a immediate rebalancing and a 5M bullish fair value gap created. Still a lot of steps to go. After that 5M bullish fair value gap, we want to tap it, and then we want to see a 1M bullish fair value gap be created and tapped, and then a series of closures. Like, there's a lot of steps. It's almost as if you're sending a rocket into space. You got to have a checklist. Like a pilot before taking off, he wants to make sure that everything is accounted for. I mean, these are your finances you're talking about. Capital preservation is our first key. Without that, none of this matters. Still just waiting. As mentioned before, since we just have one clean leg break on Brent crude oil, you see that divergence. Could use this inverse, well, I guess still fair value gap. It could use this fair value gap to just push down further. Just kind of a good sign that lets me know that we might get into this area, but we'll see. Just got to wait and be patient. About 6 minutes left till 11 o'clock. Then we'll jump onto the higher time frame, just take a look at, see exactly which direction we're getting that expansion, which direction we're wicking off of. If obviously we've cleared out liquidity here, we've hit this 1 hour fair value gap, left this big wick. And same thing on Brent crude oil, which is even more definitive because we did not even have a double break to the upside. So I could use this fair value gap to just push down deeper, but we'll see. Nothing interesting here yet. We're close. Still got a ways to go though. But this is what we teach you. We teach you what to look for. You know, all that stuff that people teach you, harmonics, BAP pattern, and or just trading off of support and resistance, all of that, trend lines, all of that is honestly nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. It's no different than a broken clock being right 2 times a day. That's not what shows you the setup. There are no buyers and sellers driving this market. It is an algorithm. A very, very elegant algorithm that's using psychology and reverse psychology at the exact same time. What we've created here essentially is a algorithmic AI translator. We're letting you know what to look for, what this algorithm is telling you. And no, it has nothing to do with harmonics patterns and even Wyckoff. Wyckoff is close, but there's nothing in Wyckoff that differentiates certain like areas of entry. Wyckoff just tells you the overall kind of view of the market and where it's going. Still just waiting, nothing of interest yet. you're hitting that 20 EMA, there is a 5M fair value gap here, but as mentioned before, I'd like to see it drive down, at least come into this area. We'll see if that happens. Otherwise, if we see a 5M bullish fair value gap being created, we can take a look there and see on the smaller time frame if it gives us any kind of entry whatsoever. 2 minutes from 11. Again, just playing it safe. Still a whole bunch of nothing. Still just gesticulating right here. This is an area for them to engineer new liquidity. There are people going short off of this fair value gap. And there are people going long off of this 20 EMA and this 5M fair value gap. So they could just hold it up here. We'll see. Still nothing of interest. About 26 minutes left in our stream. About 4 minutes left. Let's see if it creates a fair value gap and then uses this one as an inverse. Right now, I don't believe it did leave. No. I usually don't like to use volume imbalances. Three minutes left. So far, no fair value gap. Let's see if this little gap is left open in here, maybe. But right now, there's still nothing. We need a proper foothold. Without that, you can't enter the market. One minute left. So this is the only thing that's even created right now. Put 15 seconds left. Let's see if it sticks. Let's hoping for a 5M fair value gap here, because that would be our stop loss technically right now. A little over 15 minutes in our stream. Let's see if we get any kind of setup here. So we've hit this volume imbalance here. Now let's see if we get a 1M fair value gap created off of it. On Brent crude, we did create a 5M fair value gap. So let's see if the market comes back into that. So since that's the first 5M fair value gap left by either of these assets, I want to see it at least get tapped. Yeah, 15 minutes left to go. This late in the game, no confirmation. I want to see this get tapped first. Otherwise, I'm just not interested. Gotta stick to your rules. Starting to see that push down now. Excuse me, US oil is back at that volume imbalance. We've yet to touch this 5M fair value gap still. So we did create another one here. Sometimes you got to watch for that. So if we get a 1M bullish fair value gap here or here, we could technically take it. About 25 seconds left. So let's see if this gets tapped. We'd like to see it close now above at least. So this already skipped past it. Let's see if it actually bounces. So that would be the entry. With targets, that's the first target. Take a partial there and close out the position there. I got about 7 minutes left in our stream. Let's see how this plays out. Just going to move this out of the way. So as mentioned before, yeah, those are the, you want to take partials here with your final closing of position up here, TP, TP1, TP2. We got about 3 minutes left. So please check us out on fractaleffects.com, where we teach high probability trading. Please make sure you turn on your subscribe, or hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live. Tomorrow there is no news, and then on Thursday is when we have PPI. So just be cognizant of that. That'll conclude our session. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.